profit. Some choices for profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Never let a manufacture stack like that. And if it getting toxic, tell the boy fall back. If it was back then, I'd be tripping off that. Took a little time just to get me on track. I went from snotty to snobby, got it like immune to everybody, this is stunt 101. Up in the club, throwing the 50s like hated the love it, I just can't get enough. Labels keep calling me, I said move if you call me please, or don't even bother me. They said oh my apologies, they keep calling and calling, I keep stalling and stalling.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Good route here.
First play and a first pass for Cousins. Hauled in over the middle by Rager. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. The Vikings had 8-6 now on the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Azeez Ojulari there on the tackle. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. To throw is Cousins. Dalvin Cook now catches on back-to-back plays. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
2nd down and goal. Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go. Go set.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley, and he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield, because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down.
Let's go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
10 cycles.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucks and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
On the return, the Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Here's Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Cousins to throw it. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 22-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Kayvon Thibodeau in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And that CD, another sack for the young rookie linebacker. Well, getting after the quarterback certainly has not been much of a problem here in his rookie season.
It certainly hasn't, Brandon, and the instincts that have made him a great tackle.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Pride. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
A gain of 8 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, ready?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Ready?
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
That's complete to Chandler on the check down. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Listen to me.
Now Cousins. Right back to Cook for another completion. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly, and now 1st and goal.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings have moved out in front. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch out now. 52.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once
the throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Cousins gives way to Cook. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back 7, phenomenal.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Here we go.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Back to throw here. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
On the double.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll drop to throw. He's got Bellinger. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Bellinger with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants have retaken the lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7.
Giants 10, Vikings 7. Graham Gano to kick off for New York.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field. for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Troy Pride. And the Giants will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
A first down run by Barkley, unsuccessful, as he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? It looks like they're ready to go.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And you'd think on third down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result, because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They go play action. Cousins. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So roughing the passer there, a big mistake defensively.
Yeah, and even though you've got a quarterback out of the pocket and the rules change downfield, that doesn't mean the same rules don't apply with the QB. Anything more than one step, they're going to throw a flag on you every time.
It's complete to Cook. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That goes for a gain of 31.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Cook fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Dalvin Cook, so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
On second and goal, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jalen Reagor, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are back within a score. Joseph connects on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Hustle, hustle.
And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive first and 10. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Ready. Red, cycle. Cycle. 3-3. Ready.
He'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side. And all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards and a giant first down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Bring up 48.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out through.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the 2nd half and take over.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now this one from about 2 counties over. After the sack, they come up on a 2nd and very long. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Troy Pride. And the Giants are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Barkley. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
That is caught inside the 5. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Cook is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run total.
Touchdown! Jalen Reagor, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 66 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Runs through another. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now a toss right to Barkley. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Shot, 17.
Again, it's Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to swell the lead to 6. Gano's kick is good, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there,
Those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Return. The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. And you talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Giants, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
For me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You put the you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your great hate.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.